Nostalgia. It's a complex or thing to think about. It affects us in so many ways. It's hard to think about. For example, we get attached to one particular character. For me, that would be Fluttershy or Laguna Blue. Others could be Strawberry Shortcake or Hannah Montana. But in some ways, somehow, we miss it. So today, I would like to talk about that topic and ask the question, childhood nostalgia. Why do we miss it? To understand nostalgia at its core, let's see how others view it and why they miss their own childhood nostalgia. I picked a few people in my life and asked the question, childhood nostalgia, why do we miss it? So I'm gonna read them off my phone and yeah, let's gonna read them out loud. You guys will also be able to see it on the screen. Okay, so I asked my cousin first, Sophia. She said, because life is stressful and all boring now, we don't have the imagination we did as children, and we're more self-aware, and childhood was just fun. In times we grew up. I have my cousin's best friend, Savannah. She has a bigger one, so let's go. Some of these are bigger, I will admit. So, anyways. For me, I think it was just how big the world felt. Like it was discovering something new. And my imagination was at its peak. And don't get me wrong. I still learned something very new very often. But it just felt like so much bigger. And so much more. Full of wonder than it does now. I don't know. I guess also because there's no good memories. We've yet to make any more good memories since they haven't happened yet. If that makes sense. Lol. That's something. I have Zoe Wobby. Okay. I miss my childhood probably because it was more carefree. I didn't have to worry about it. I didn't have a lot of stuff to worry about. Next, I asked my sister. This one, I think, is the shortest one. I'm not fully sure. I know Savannah's was either the longest one or the second longest one. I don't remember. I miss it mostly because it's comforting. It gives me a sense of happiness. And lastly, we have Eliza to ask the question. The question I asked. I think it's because life was so much easier back then. We had no responsibilities except to figure out the world around us. Through playing. We have real stuff to do, and most of it squashes our creativity when we used to be able to be creative as we want. Read all of what people said. I think it was 5. I'm not fully sure. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Looking back on those answers, there was a common theme: simpler times. It was just easier, and I relate to those desperately. I miss where I could be carefree and make a mistake. That didn't mean hours of effort to fix, and I think that is the problem. We want a simpler times back, but many people may also say that's all to do with not enjoying the little things in life. Well, that can't cooperate. I don't know. I wrote it in the script. I actually don't know what that means, but whatever. Another big problem is the things that were around us. For example, corporate minimalism, people's lack of empathy, political problems that we are too well aware of, societal norms, and social differences. The lack of effort people are putting in. So much that I could go on forever and ever. So you see, it isn't as simple as let's just make the world fun again. It's more complex than that. For people see it for its face value. This is a hard section because some people don't want to talk about it. TikTok, the multi-use platform. If you were to search up childhood nostalgia or nostalgia on TikTok, granted, add some things that you want to see, you will get many videos. It's unbelievable, all the comments, kinds that follow in a similar path. I miss this time, it's so nostalgic, type of comments, and you will see that they're right. Everyone in the modern day feels very similar and acts very similar. And it's like how people ask myself. They just wish it was easier, simple, and more different. Not to say that there wasn't struggles and things that they miss or dealt with, but as children, but they didn't seem as big as the struggles they would deal with on a daily basis. For example, 2008, which many people had missed. But the main problem of 2008 was the major recession. Similar to what we're dealing with now. Anyways, my personal favorite year that I've experienced in the past few months, years, is 2021. It's a very nostalgic year for me. I dealt with a lot that was beautiful, but also agonizing. But though it happened and I miss it, January 6th and COVID were still a problem. Those are the two major things I can think about. Or people miss the 2010s. The 2010s had a lot of problems that we will get into a few of them really quick. Whitewashing, racism, cancel culture, cultural appropriation, so much more that I can't remember at the moment. So why do we miss it? Why do we miss those times? Though they had major lying issues beneath them. Why do we dare to go back to them? And well, the easiest answer is we were children. We saw them as simpler times. We weren't really thinking about how we felt at the moment. We were just doing whatever to keep us occupied and entertained. One bigger detail on what I meant. We yearn for more simpler time than more than just people could think of. Hell, I even get nostalgic just thinking about things I enjoyed in the last few years. Animal Crossing New Horizons. That I spent hours on that game, not looking up a single time. Or Roblox Royal High, the enchanting world, beautiful atmosphere really drew me in. Now looking at it, I can see all the problems that I used to have, which is its own video for another day, which, if you guys are interested, I'll talk about. We grew up and saw the world for what it was. 2020, a year many people miss, had so many lying issues with it that we all just ignored at the time. We were children, being oblivious to it. We weren't paying attention to the things that the world had problems with. So we doom scrolled on TikTok. We were playing Roblox or doing whatever to pass the time. After all, children shouldn't be exposed to that. We manually make sure we weren't exposed to it, even if we weren't knowing we were trying to not expose ourselves to it. Well, is there any solution? I don't think so. The problem is bigger than what most people may think or want to expect. We are struggling as we speak, economy-wise and mentally and physically. We're all dying on the inside. Just accept it. So unfortunately, like I would hope we could have done, I can't give a concrete answer on what to do to fix it. Nothing you really do besides just move on, which kind of leads you to the next part, which I would like to discuss. Nostalgia has a problem we've done for years now. How I'm not going to act like I wasn't a victim, or a person who did it. I asked for, I'm doing it right now as we speak, making this video. I have books on this desk of books I read as children, watching shows, reliving the childhood memories, and acting like none of it mattered. I was partaking in not letting it go. I loved the feeling of being a child. I love the crave and the energy it gives me, the youth I have. Even though only being 15, I still miss it. Weird. Now we will discuss the nostalgia girlies on TikTok. You may have seen them, videos on the screen as you see, and they are essentially 2000s missers. They miss being a teenager, they miss acting the way that they did, they miss being the way that they could, getting away with every little thing, and having free time. They miss the energy, they miss the crave, they miss it all. So, why? Why do they miss that? Well, like everyone else in this video that I've shown you, answers, shown, done, they miss the simpler time it was. And honestly, can we blame them? They were teenagers, they didn't really notice anything, but wait, most people who are watching this video are teenagers. So why are we so, well known to the problems that are going on in the world right now? Well, I'm not gonna blame it on social media, even though that is the lying answer. I think just we were all children. We ignored it at the time, but we were given access to know the problems now. Is it our parents' fault for giving us these devices to know this information on? No. Was it our fault for exposing ourselves to this and asking our parents for those well-learned iPads and phones? No. Was it anybody's fault or the world's fault for exposing us to this information? No. It's nobody's fault in all reality. Sure, you can blame on yourself for exposing yourself to that on your For You page, crafted by you. You can blame it on anybody. But I don't think you could blame it on realistically anybody. Anymore, at least. Problems that we experienced and noticed that people used to know and realize by their mid-30s because of devices we were given. We noticed that by the time we turned 10. And unfortunately, that's the world that we live in. People are learning their problems faster and not experiencing a childhood quicker. It's unfortunate, but that's just the world we live in. Gotta accept it. We have to live with it. Closing thoughts. The reason we miss childhood, nostalgia, is because we were young. We want to go back to a simpler time that we simply just can't go back to. Like the reasons I've listed earlier in this video. Times were simpler, we needed less. And unfortunately, those times are gone. It's not 2007 anymore, not 2008. It's certainly not 2016. It is 2025. We can hold on to the past, sure, do what you want. You can act like it didn't happen. But moving on is accepting the faults. Sure, I had a great childhood, really enjoyed it. But there were problems. And acting like those problems didn't happen and just enjoying life the way it was supposed to be, for you at the time, is acting oblivious. Moving on is accepting the problems that time in your life you faced. And you were experiencing, but you just didn't pay attention to it. That is moving on. And in all honesty, I wish I could go back to the 2010s. I wish I could. But I have to understand there were line problems. And honestly, if I was at the age I am now, I would not want to be there. I wouldn't. So, you see, like a Darman video, we just have to accept the reality we live in. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have been wanting to do a video essay. God knows how fucking long. I just haven't had the time. So this, with the minimum research I did, and just kind of knowing everything off the top of my head, I was able to pump out a script, ask people, and find my evidence quick. That's how you do a right video essay! Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this, and if you guys are interested in more topics about this on how we truly feel about something, let me know. I will gladly make it. Now, do you want to hear more about it? You guys are listening. Anyways, comment down below if you have you'd like to hear, or video ideas, video essay or not. You know, could be more vlogs. Could be a deep topic about how you truly feel. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah. One thing before I go, I would like to say a shout out to all the people I asked earlier in the video on how they feel. My sister Tanisha, Eliza, Zoe, my cousin Sophia, and Savannah. Thank you guys so much for giving me the answers that I needed. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the flip side. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
This is Taking Me Out Cruise, the most emotional moment between JD and Veronica and Heather McNamara is fucking doing a little dancey dance. What is happening?